bringing down Todak. They were this close to making it out, to beating the Sunsparks as well, and making it out to become the first non-Southeast Asian team to qualify in the playoffs. Did not happen because for that team, the macro play wasn't as good as the aggression. But for Deus Vult, if you look back at Game 2 against EVOS Legends and Game 1 against 10S Gaming Plus, the late game scenario was the deja vu, right? Unnecessary fights, losing out lead, and losing out the game eventually.
Well, I think that they were definitely rash on certain decisions, but we cannot ever count it out yet. And now, from the side of Deus Vult, of course, hovering on to a whole lot of those mages. Not too sure about a first pick Gord though, but of course, I prefer this Grok over any of those options on the table for first pick. Now, heading back towards the side of 10 seconds here. Well, we've seen Kufra being a popular option, which is still being left out. They're going to go in for the export, but Obuyan here will still stick to that same trusty support, Rafaela.
Yeah, if it works, then don't change it. 10S Gaming Plus, they have mastered Rafaela, and dare I say, in the whole M1, probably 10S Gaming Plus is the only team that dares to pick the support to kind of fall back to a meta that we just have not been paying attention to because it was so long ago. Now people are running a two tank, one fighter, one mage, one marksman, or maybe one tank, and so on and so forth. But they never put the Rafaela, they never put any kind of healer into it, other than maybe the Rafaela, the Estes was as far as we went. Maybe the Diggy. So 10S Gaming Plus, this is the Burmese ghoul effects again. I think I've mentioned this term way too many times, but it's what throws your opponents off. Now, Savo will still stick to the Kufra, but this time Zika, he would change from the Talia to Helka instead.
Now that's definitely stealing one option away from Papa, but they're going to bring in that Masha just to match up in terms of that sort of a tankiness as well as a pushing stability in that sort of sense. Now heading into phase number 2, we have yet to see any sort of mages to be brought up. So maybe a Valor. Valor has not really been banned all too much, but it has been a priority pick for many. So who knows, Deus Vult might be able to actually land their hands onto that. Well, for the side of 10 Seconds Gaming, I'm still thinking that they might need something that is equivalent in terms of a firepower against that Hellcat right now. Gatokacha has been removed, and of course it has proven to be very effective against their composition in the previous match. So they don't really want to deal with that tank anymore, which means that there's still that Chow being left on the table for either side.
Yeah, exactly. And but if you look at both Export and Marsha, Cho doesn't look like the pick that you want to go for next. But we never know. 10S Gaming Plus, they might bring that out again and flex it to a tank Cho instead. For Sure, the Gatokacha taken out, like you mentioned. So I feel like maybe Gatokacha isn't the strongest tank. A lot of people agree on that on the broadcast. But as a Kufra, you want to move around. But Gatokacha, make sure you stay in place. Lilia will be brought out again by 10S Gaming Plus, the pick that destroy ONIC Philippines team. They're going to bring it out again in Game 2 against Deus Vult.
They're going to break some dark energy heading in towards the very second battle of the series. And now a little bit of the members of Deus Vult is having perhaps a little bit of the half-time thinking. What should they go for the final 2 picks, because they cannot afford to lose out this battle. And now they're bringing out the Odette, so they're committing in towards a very heavy team fight composition.
Oh yeah, last game was not strong enough, but this game they say we're going to seal it. We're going to bring in the Phantom Steve. We're going to bring in Leomord. We have Kufra. We have Odette. I dare you guys to fight us in our territory. But hey, there's still another horse right up on 10S Gaming's plus the side. It's the Hylos. They're going to lock it in.
Well, they're going to be running rampant across the battlefield, but of course, this is one pick that I would say that is really sustainable from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, especially with Obuyan consistently healing them as well. So it's really tough to actually take some of these members down if they were to fully commit, and they're really good at counter engagements, while the side of Deus Vult, of course, does what they do best, picking off members of the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. And I'm still looking at that Hellcat pick here, so suddenly getting a little bit more popularity after some of all these days of play, and it has definitely been proven very effective heading in towards some of all these matchups here, especially if you give enough room for him to actually farm up in the early phase of the game.
Yeah, and I think one of the most notable or more notable Hellcat play was by Chiku from Todak. He played Hauket, I believe, in yesterday in Group C, and he had an amazing game. That was the game against EVO Esports that Todak were fighting for their lives. They won with the macro play, the split push coming in from both the Masha and the Hauket. But for this one, I've been waiting 4 days to say
4 days
to finally say, you know, we are getting a non-Southeast Asian team qualifying for the playoffs, and today might be the day that I get to say that.
Well, definitely the best of the world have a lot more to offer, and now heading into game number 2, we'll see whether or not Deus Vult will be able to pull one more point in the bag, or will 10 Seconds Gaming Plus gets this victory with a 2-0 sweep. Of course, M1 is happening on the weekend here with the playoff runs tomorrow, so get those tickets real quick because those gold tickets have already been sold out, and who knows, silver might just be the next one.
Tomibo switching from Harif to ex-Borgai. Pretty interested to see what he can bring to the table, but right now it's Deus Vult. The 1 point does go a long way. Immediate invade from Tennis Gaming Plus. Deus Vult, do they want to contest it? And it seems like they will. Lil Happy walks a bit too far forward. The buff does get stolen by Tennis Gaming Plus, and they might go a bit more, but here comes Salka, and first blood goes over to Sunset. He's now looking for Obuyen. Papa is dead though, but Savo does not care. Jumps right in, has the bouncing ball, but can he get on top of Obuyen? He needs one more to attack, and he will slap him down. Rafaela gets taken out as Tomibo wants to roast down this Kufra, and the kill will go over to the Lily instead.
Very messy team fight heading in towards the early game just for the sake of one buff. Not too sure if it's all too well worth it, but Deus Vult definitely turned things around, and once again, they are always leading the pack in the early phase of the game. Taka will get this free river cap. Well, not exactly free with Lil Happy going in for a little bit of contest, so they will reset this one on the table. Tomibo going for a little bit of foot for a better roam as well as Kufra planning to actually join the rest of the pack over on the bottom side of the lane, but there won't be any much of a contention coming from the rest of the members of Deus Vult in this river crab battle.
Yeah, and I think you point out earlier on that Deus Vult, they are really good at this early game fight, and they have dominated EVOS Legends with their early aggression. They have kind of broke open Tennis Gaming Plus in the first 5 to 8 minutes in game 1, but the question now lies whether they can continue that momentum until the end of the game and close it out. Tennis Gaming Plus now they're trying to collapse on the bottom lane. You can see Deus Vult, they're really good at doing this, especially Savo and the Kufra, always in the right place at the right time. Oh, that is there as well. Zika, he will be ready to fight if it calls for it. Tennis Gaming Plus.
Well, they're still all level 3, so they don't really have the ultimates up yet to actually fully commit to this. And I like how 10 Seconds Gaming Plus is actually raiding so many of these camps in the jungle. But here comes Lil Happy. Oh, Lil Happy right in between, dealing a lot of damage right there. And Lil Happy will fall instead with too much pressure coming in from 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. Not too sure what the lead mark was up to, but this gives away that first turtle of the game. Yeah,
that is just a classic example of overcommitting and not understanding what the enemy is capable of, or at least the lack of understanding. The Grup was not even level 4. Lil Happy was level 3 when that happened. He did not have the wild charge to get away. He did not have the wild charge to engage.
Wow.
Deus Vult just went away too far forward. Zika now caught out, does get killed out by Papa, and look at Tennis Gaming Plus immediately jump on Deus Vult. They pounce on them and they get 3 kills.
Look at Sure, he's still alive. It's thanks to the Obuyen's heal right there, holy healing by the edge of the moment, and none of these members have faltered. Look at how 10 Seconds Gaming Plus says, I want to secure this game, I want to keep this clean shit going, and it won't be brought in to play. And look at it, every single camp already getting snatched away, and the level difference is pretty much stark as of now. Everyone level 5 on the side of Deus Vult, and we're seeing level 7 from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus, and that's definitely a huge advantage. And we're looking at Papa here, already 2-0 up, and here comes Savo.
Savo just leap right in, not able to get that great engage, but does immobilize 2 members of 10 Seconds Gaming Plus. Here comes Lil Happy though. Deus Vult, he cannot make the same mistake. Sunset goes right in for the assassination, but not gonna kill off Sure, and he might be taken down. And here comes the OD ultimate, he flickers it, but the damage is not there. Double kill for Papa. Lil Happy does fight one, but Zika will be barbecued by Tomibo. 4 for Tennis Gaming Plus.
Well, they just got in towards that nosedive, and they fell flat to the ground. It's only QB left, and let's have a look at this replay brought to you by U Mobile. And Salvo, of course, he thought that was a golden opportunity, but it was a little happy. We came a little bit too late for that. Of course, with that Dark Knight Falls, they commit to this, knowing that the Odette is nearby, and that was definitely a great ultimate being channeled up, but they were taken down instantaneously, melted like butter in that team fight.
Yeah, it was a bit slight miscommunication. Sabo went in without Lil Happy. Lil Happy just took a stroll, and suddenly Sunset says, I'm gonna go in for the assassination. When Lil Happy, he did not seem ready to follow up with that wild charge, and because of that, 10 seconds plus, they realized Deus Vult, they're blowing all these skills to no avail. They're funneling in their members. Let us just use all our skills on top of them at the same time. This turtle will definitely go over to the Japanese team.
They're slowly losing that sort of that momentum that they had, and of course, having 3 straight losses was the big blow towards the side of Deus Vult of Russia. And here comes the ultimate for Odette. Oh my goodness!
They're looking for the engage. Deus Vult managing to stall out that defense, managing to defend the structure, but no kills yet on 10S Gaming Plus. The Rafaela healing up, and suddenly they're being roasted down. Deus Vult, they are forced to retreat, and they have to give away the structure. Sabo does not have the health to go for another engage. 10S Gaming Plus, how are they still alive?
Well, 10 seconds game plus so much sustainability thanks to Obuyan, and easily they walk in and out of that fight without any sort of danger, and Totaka getting 1 free tower off the bottom side as well. A little bit of redemption code right down below. I don't really need to spell it for you, do I? As you can open up a brand new tab to claim some free gifts. So heading in towards the later stages of the game, 10 seconds game plus is just going to get stronger and stronger. So I'm not too sure how does Deus Vult even get close to punishing some of these members from the Japanese side.
Lil Happy, a bit isolated from his team, trying to get away, and he will survive. And might I just say, 10 seconds gaming plus, the record for all these players' career, 0 losses across the board, and they intend to keep that going. Like my entire career up to now, to the World Championship, no losses yet, and they are looking poised to not just keep that clean slate, but to lock in playoffs. We talk about Deus Vult, they have to win this game, they have to win this series, because 10 seconds gaming plus, if they win this, they'll get 6 points, and they're gonna go for the final engage, go for that fight right now. 1 already down, and it's going to be the rest of Deus Vult falling. It's now Sabo, Sunset, and Zika trying to keep the dream for Russia alive, but Sure is somehow still alive. He does not go down, and finally he burns to death, but it's already too late. 10 Gaming Plus. Now it's up to Sunset. The sun looks like it's definitely setting, because the land of the rising sun is 10 Gaming Plus. They'll take down that top inhibitor. They will retreat for now.
We talk about the Japanese side, of course, being so dominant. I think that they're here to prove a statement. It's not just about clean slates. It's about claiming the world title with that in play as well. Imagine the perfect run of the entirety of the tournament. That will definitely be the greatest story to tell. And with the M1 title pretty much up for contention by every single other team, I'm really curious to see how 10 seconds will fare against EVOS Legends later on.
Now that you mention it, it's not something that I would imagine earlier on into the group stage, but right now, if you talk about clean slate from 10 Gaming Plus, the perfect run towards M1, I will not doubt you. I definitely believe that it might happen. Lil Happy now caught out by the high lows as an immediate engage. He'll collect on this Grok. He will try to retreat, but he gets pulled back by the fire stakes. That is 1 down for Deus Vult. 10 Gaming Plus. Closer and closer to the victory, but now the counter engage from Deus Vult. They need to hold on, but the last is standing for Tomibo, and he will barbecue the rest of 10 Gaming Plus. And it seems like they are looking for the qualification, the clean slate, the career win. They want to go to the playoffs. Sunset will go in for the last ditch, but it will be a team-wide, and 10 Gaming Plus on the road to that playoffs, the 6 points that they need to join EVOS Legend. Lil Happy, he needs to be optimistic, but it's not gonna help. 10 Gaming Plus, they lock in playoffs. Banzai for Japan!
Wow, what a game it was, and this was absolutely clean as a